So the working group, the meta working group is called SMART, which we backronym the word. We wanted the word SMART, so we backronymed it, and it stands for, I think, Statistical Methods and Applications for Research and Technology. So it really started with Ciprian Kranichanu, another professor in the department, and myself. And we were working on, I guess, what I would describe as technology-oriented problems, like measurement and technology-oriented problems in biostatistics. So we had measurement problems with images and sleep polysomnograms and eventually wearable and implantable technology. And so all of these things led to kind of a series of methodologies and sort of an approach that we, kind of worked towards and called the SMART group. And it grew pretty big. And at one point, I think we had, 50 people coming to our meetings or something like that. And then at that point, it kind of it got a little unwieldy, and so it kind of broke into subdomains, focusing on the various aspects of technology. Probably the biggest one right now is the wearable and implantable technology group, so WIT group, and this is what Ciprian directs. The second one is one that Martin and I really focus on, which is associated with imaging, but more on functional brain imaging, so measuring the brain as it functions. And then there's, I guess, a third group, which maybe has gotten a little smaller, but was always very active as well, which was primarily led by Ciprian, focused on structural brain imaging. So in all these cases, I think the underlying theme for all of them is the sort of SMART group theme of working on big and complex data used to measure people and often to measure disease, and the sort of statistical methodological challenges that goes along with that. As of right now, I would say the SMART working group's kind of broken into these different areas, and so the different areas have their own meetings. And so they have, working group meetings where students present, people present research that's not done locally, and progress meetings for students, meetings with collaborators. They kind of do the same thing, which is basically to facilitate this interplay between methodology and statistical research and a sort of applied and utilization of those methods in this kind of technology domain. If people come with a new measurement technology, which is that happens all the time, and they bring one to us, and then we get interested in it. So some collaborators brought wearable computing, got us interested in wearable computing, and then now, Ciprian's built up this whole infrastructure associated with it. So if someone's bringing their own kind of new measurement technology or new setting, so a good example of that is a student, Alyssa, is very interested in space travel, and so she introduced us to the people around the university that study the anatomical and physiological effects of space travel. And so that involves a lot of complex measurement. And so it's kind of perfect for the group, super interesting, not a lot of data. But yeah, so if someone has like new data formats and interesting new settings, that's kind of our jam too. So that's a real strength of the group, is that we pivot a lot into new areas. Well, certainly, I would say Ciprian leads the WIT group for sure, and Martin leads the fMRI, functional MRI group, and the fMRI group and the WIT group, but especially the fMRI group is interesting because it extends well beyond our department. So maybe half the people that show up to the meetings are in neuroradiology or Kennedy Krieger or something like that, or some couple people from Bayview show up. That is an interesting group in that it's so pan university in its composition. And then I primarily lead the organoid work, which is where I'm spending most of my time these days. But like once again, I think we all are kind of all up in each other's business.